you'll be okay. There's a reason why you're being pushed so hard to get to where you need to go, to see how much you can take. My name is Ruben Gonzales. I'm 35 years old and I have 11th Monk3y Industries. Our motto is each one teach one, and that comes from a dancing background. And the purpose of that is, if there's something you want to do and you don't know the means to get to it, we're here. We are an open source workshop for product-based companies, not just ourselves. So we actually do our best to help other people get their hands involved in building and doing product, whether it's t-shirts, bicycles, metalwork, woodwork, furniture, anything that is a physical product. And we have it all connected to a retail store. So if the product does really well as a prototype and gets a lot of good reviews for you, then we can help you mass produce it in a way where we can sell it for you in the shop and you make proceeds off of that. I'm a born native from Phoenix, Arizona. I grew up in Tolleson, Arizona, which is a little small farm town outside in the West Valley that most people don't know about. And my family owned a tire shop when I was a kid, so that's kind of where I just started seeing how businesses work behind the scenes. You know, when you're 6 years old and you gotta go roll tires to help your family. It's kind of fun, you know, just works. I was always just taking shit apart, like a lot of kids, and seeing how things worked. I loved how things got from here to here, from A to B. You know, I loved the birth of stuff and just how it worked in general in the long term. And I just continued to do that. You know, I got involved with the cars. Cars for me was probably one of the biggest things because it is so intimate. So many little parts in there that make the cars do big things. You know, it's really interesting. You barely push that gas pedal and your whole vehicle moves. How does that happen? Why does that happen? And I wanted to know. So I got involved in restoring cars and just continued to do it until this stuff started to come about. I was just in school one day and I just saw like this circle forming and I was like, what's going on over there? I didn't really dance, I was always scared. So I went over there and I saw this kid spinning on his back. And early 90s, you know, and that was 94, 95, and I was like, what? This guy's gonna be my friend forever, you know. We became really good friends. His name's Angel Diaz. And taught me what I was actually really good at. I just didn't know it. He showed me that I had this gift and it just kept going. You know, I learned the foundation, the basics. I started meeting other people. We loved dancing so much, it helped us go to wherever we wanted to go to. You know, it was our one thing that nobody could take away from us. And so 19 years, it took me all over the country. You know, I've probably been to almost every state, hundreds of different cities, things I never even knew existed in cities, taught inside penitentiaries, like really crazy shit, just to give them an idea that maybe you're not a breakdancer or a b-boy, maybe you're something else, but this is just to show you that everyone has some kind of gift or talent, and don't be afraid to try it. When you're b-boying or dancing or doing shows, you wear creative stuff all the time. And sometimes people ask you where you get your things, where you get your items, and a lot of stuff I would buy would be from just some no-name place in a mall, and I was like, I can do this, you know? Why can't I do this? And make it a little bit more affordable for the people in the hip-hop community, and I just saved money. I worked at a body shop for almost 9 years, restoring bugs, and just saved what I could. Looked on Craigslist, I found one, and my mom helped me buy it and was my initial investor into it. I had no idea what I was doing. When we first opened the shop just kind of happened. I didn't expect this store to happen at all. But when we moved in, it's where I wanted to be. We were involved in the Arts District, which was on 7th Street and Roosevelt Row. So we were part of Roosevelt Row and just First Fridays and Third Fridays, which was really good. With that, it just spawned a whole different world of opportunities for us. We opened up art gallery, so we were giving people gallery space to do what they did that would never have a chance. We were doing bike builds, and with the bike builds came a whole different group of people that created a whole different group of friendships that started a bike gang, you know, not a real gang, but just a gang of people that wanted to hang out, to have a good time and support, you know, other small businesses. And that was the point of the bike ride, was, hey, we'll do a lunch or a brunch in the park where nobody goes to, but there's a beautiful park right here that needs to be utilized. Go there, 50 people show up, all cyclists, it's great, beautiful day out. Then from there you're like, yeah, we had our pizza, we had our salad, let's go get a beer. Where do we go? Let's go to Hanny's, let's go to Seamus, let's go to Rebar, let's go to Lost Leaf. Like, and just hit those spots on a Sunday afternoon that are typically not busy and give them business. And from there we grew. We grew from Roosevelt Road to where we're at now on Grand Avenue. Bigger space, little bit of different vibe, but same kind of stuff, gallery, shops, mom and pop stuff. And I don't know, it kept taking us everywhere to do different things. Our opportunities were pretty endless. The more you work together, the more you grow together, the bigger you become together. There's no reason to do this on your own when you have the help right there. There's no reason for us to fight to be number one. Nobody has to be number one, because there's always going to be bigger, better, faster, stronger. All that stuff is going to always happen. That's great. You're one person. When a group does it, it's that much more powerful. And to get that entire group all together to build their businesses together, to use each other's businesses to get to where they need to go, that's success. C-Spot was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me, honestly. I found them randomly by being in the local coffee shop, Joe Bot. I walked in, was getting my coffee, the newspaper was open, and there was a little article, and it was like, this program is going on. And I was like, I took a photo of it, went home, thought about it. I applied, and I was like, what the worst that's gonna happen is I'm not gonna get in. Big deal. A month later, I totally forgot about it. I think it was like a month later, I get a phone call saying, hey, we appreciate you applying. At this moment in time, we're not gonna accept you. And I was just like, all right, well, I'm gonna do what I continue to do. And I was bummed, don't get me wrong. Their application was really long, and it was a process to fill out, and you're basically writing your heart because you wanted to go somewhere better with your company. And then my world went to shit after that. It was really just really bizarre. Series of events that unfolded after that C-Spot thing was just, no one knew these things were coming. My house got robbed, my car got broken into, the shop got broken into twice. All my stuff that I used to do and run my business was being taken from me. It was almost like someone was sabotaging me, is what I felt like. And I went to do my taxes one day, came back out, everything in my car was gone again, and it was the last piece of equipment I had. My computer was the last thing I had left to keep the business afloat, gone. So I don't know what to do. I frantically was like running in this neighborhood of Glendale. I was just looking for anybody with a bag or white, and nothing. So I got in my car, drove home, didn't owe any taxes. That was great. And I remember screaming in my car. I was so pissed, just frustrated. Got back to my shop, and Monica was pulling up when I was pulling up, and I posted about it, and she was like, what are you gonna do? And I just fell. I fell on the street, and I didn't know what to do. I was like, I'm done. I everything I've given is gone. Obviously someone or something doesn't want me to do this, and it's fighting me. It's been fighting me. It's just fighting me. And I went into the shop, and I just kind of sat there and looking at everything that I had done and where we had been and what we built with the people we've created awesome network with and friendships with. And I got a text from a friend saying, do you want to go to Havasupai Falls? And I was like, yeah, I need to get the hell out of here, sure. So we planned that trip, and I just didn't know what to do. The shop was closed for like 2 weeks because couldn't print anything, couldn't do anything except for what was already pre-made on screens. And we were driving out to Havasupai Falls on a Friday morning. I get a phone call from Johnny Cupcakes. So weird.
Johnny Cupcakes. Hi, my name is Johnny. I made millions of dollars off of baked goods. Here we go. Whoa, this is crazy. What the heck is going on?
Johnny Cupcakes is a Fortune 500 t-shirt company who started out of basically his house like anybody else who had an idea, threw his name on a shirt, and it just kind of blew up, and he did it the right way. He marketed it the right way, and was one of the youngest guys to ever become a Fortune 500 when I first read about him. And it was like that, I hate you so much for doing so good, but you're pushing me. You're gonna push all these other people to get to where you're at. Huge inspiration for why I got to do and why I pushed myself to get here. I wanted to be there. But he called me, and it was a weird full circle. I was like, yeah, this is Ruben. He's like, hey, I heard you're gonna save our day. And I was like, possibly, how can we help you? Can we use your space to do our pop-up store? And I was like, yeah, why wouldn't I say yes to this? And he was like, oh my God, sweet, thank you. You know, you're totally saving the tour, because they drive across the country doing this thing and they didn't have a spot. So we let him do it. And then just real humbled guy. We chatted for a little bit longer, hung up the phone, said goodbye, got in the car, went home to go get my bags to go on this trip, and I get a call from Courtney Klein. And I was just like, why? This is weird. And she was like, hey, Ruben, just wanted to let you know that me and Chris, after meeting with you and having coffee and talking with you, we decided to give your application another look. We decided that we're gonna pull you in. And I screamed, I was crying, I was out of control. It was the coolest total 180 from everything that was bad happening to saying, you're gonna be okay. There's a reason why you're being pushed so hard to get to where you need to go, to see how much you can take. You know, and that year I took a lot of shit. I was ready to close my shop, move to Texas with my dad, and I'm done, I'm out of here. And I didn't. The universe said no. Everything else turned and helped, and Seed Spot was a huge, I shifted my entire store hours. Everything I did in my life changed for Seed Spot, because I knew whether or not I got anything from it, I knew it was important to go through this. I'm not a businessman, I didn't go to school for business. I just love doing what I want to do with no regulations, and they showed me a better way to do that. And the business started to do, you know, a little bit better. I started seeing a lot of change in the way I was. My attitude was shifting. I wasn't being so dramatic with stuff anymore. I wasn't being so just pushed over with the things I was doing with people that were helping me. I was more laid back. I was letting the business do what it needs to do to get to where it needs to go. I stopped being my own wall. Business got better because it was almost like we built a destination for people to come to. Our grand opening, we had a few hundred people here all night. Then from there, we just continued to do these little random parties that were kickoff events for things. So yeah, the year was moving great, and with everything happening, we got approached by Heavy Pedal, by Terrence and Vic. They wanted to do a bike ride. It was called Life After Death race, because the original the original Death race ended, and Terrence was given the opportunity to revive it, so change it up a little bit, and needed a place to do it. They didn't have a venue yet, so he approached me, and I was like, yeah, I've been thinking about doing something, but yeah, totally, you know, what do you want to do? It's like, well, we're gonna do this cool scavenger hunt race throughout the entire downtown area, where people will have to go to certain places and then they get something, and then that's where they determine where the next phase is. But we want your place to be the ending goal, you know? And so that's what they did. They planned it out. It looked like it was gonna be an awesome turnout. We came, we prepped the place, we had the DJ booth, Red Bull sponsored some stuff. We had it all set up, ready to go, and we had just finished working on a bike for me. Drove home, showered, changed, and I was like, all right, we're gonna go back to the shop to have this cool event. And it was weird. I don't think I told anybody this. On my way home, I was crossing a bridge. It's a 10th Street bridge. It's just, I call it the People Bridge. Everyone in downtown knows it. So you cross this bridge because there's no cars. It's just a small little bridge, overpass, come off of it, past the hospital. I was passing McDowell. There was a dude laying in front of me on the road, bleeding. I don't know what was going on. And there was a car parked, and it was maybe a half a block from my house, and I was just like, what? This is weird. So I stopped, I got out, and the other guy's like, I didn't hit him. The roads there are bad, and there's big grooves, so it looked like he went into the groove, and it caught the wheels, and he just went down. But it also looked like he was drunk. There was a beer bottle, there was a bag. He was just bleeding out on the road, and we couldn't touch him. Didn't know what to, he wouldn't wake up. So we just sat there and waited for him, he was breathing, but it didn't look right. And then finally the ambulance came, and I was like, all right, this is what we know, and then we're gonna go home. So that happened first, and that was really weird, but I didn't think anything of it. Got home, showered, did my thing, called the people here, hey, I'm on my way. I had the keys to everything. Jumped back on my bike, threw my headphones on, and it was just a really happy day. It was like those moments when you're no worry in the world. Music is great, you're on your bike, life is free, it's good. coming back over the People's Bridge, that guy was gone already, so he must have been in the hospital. And just riding, I love crossing that bridge. It sounds like an ocean to me. Passing by, it's my ocean in downtown Phoenix. And next thing I know, I was on a curb. It's really weird. I don't know what happened. I remember hearing noises. I remember stuff like flying, fumbling. I don't know. I initially woke up and I was on the road and I saw blood, and I didn't know where my head was. It was just weird. And then I must have passed back out, because the next time I woke up, there was people saying, "We got you, you're gonna be okay. Just don't move, sit here." And everything, it felt like I had a bag over my face because I couldn't see it. It was just a blur. And then I blacked back out, woke up again, and there was a car leaving. I don't know where I was. It was just quiet, and my phone was sitting there still, and I must have had I don't know how this even happened, but I grabbed my phone. Apparently I hit dial. The number on the dial was one of my best friends, Jeremy, who happened to be the last guy I talked to that day. His number was the last one there, and I just hit call and called him. And my call log says, like, I kept calling because he wasn't answering. It was Halloween weekend. And finally he answered, and I was just like, I don't know where I'm at. You have to come get me. And he immediately was like, oh fuck. Left whatever he was doing, stayed on the phone with me, and he's like, I don't know where you're at. How do I find you? And I'm like, I'm by my house. I'm by the bridge. That's all I remember, because that was the first thing I remembered when I was coming over, was that part. And then I don't know what else I said to him after that. It was 40 minutes, I think I was in this weird ordeal. And he found me. He said he just drove up and down every road until he saw someone laying on the street and found me. Woke me up, helped me get into the car, and I still wasn't aware of what happened. And he was like, what happened? I don't know, but I can't feel my teeth. I can't feel my lip. And he looked at me, and he was just, he kept it really together for me. I think I would have been worse. But he's like, you're fine, don't touch your face. And he wrapped my face with whatever I had and took me to the emergency room. Went in and they admitted me, they did all their stuff. And by that time I was a little bit more coherent. I could talk. I knew who I was. I knew where I was at by that point. Still didn't know what happened. It's just a bizarre day, and it messes with my head a lot, but I don't fight it anymore. It's just, it is what it is. But my friend, I mean, to me, he saved me. If my phone wasn't working, I don't know what would have happened. It was shitty. Whatever it was that happened was shitty. Doesn't need to happen to anybody. Thank God for fucking technology. I don't know, literally being a hardhead. I didn't break any bones. I was just dismantled in every way possible that was gonna hurt me in the long run if I didn't heal right. Because my business and what I do is very one-on-one with people, and I like talking to people. I like being out, and when that happened, I covered all my mirrors. I couldn't even see myself. I didn't know what I looked like. Other people did, but I didn't. But I got lucky. The doctor was like, you're gonna go home tonight. And it's like, okay, I was doped up by then. I didn't know, it didn't really matter. When we were leaving, the doctor was awesome. He was just like, most people don't walk out of here after what you went through. And I was still doped up, and I was like, all right. He's like, no, you should be going home in a wheelchair. You should be paralyzed. The impact that you're showing you should have a broken spine, or something worse should be wrong with you, and there's something, and you're not. You have scars, you have things that can be fixed, and you will be fine. And it was until he said that where I was like, everything I've worked my entire life for could have been gone. What would I do? Dancing is my love. I wouldn't be able to dance. Working, I'm a worker. I enjoy it. I wouldn't be able to work. My head went somewhere that it just went to a really weird place. And then I went home, laid in bed, and my dad happened to be here randomly. He's from Texas, but he happened to be here for a funeral, which was not the right circumstances, but it's good he was here. And all I could do was type. I couldn't talk. After that, everything started swelling. I didn't have any teeth. I was missing half my teeth from the top. My mouth was still, everything was sewn back on. I have this scar that, this came all the way down, went under my eye, barely missed my eye. They had to sew my nose back on, sew my lip. It was, I have a photo. I just never showed it because it was unnecessary to show it, but we needed it for something. And probably like 3-4 weeks later, I looked at it and it messes you up to see yourself that way. I don't know, I typed about it on Facebook. I was like, hey, in case anybody wants to know why I wasn't at the event, the Life After Death race, I was having my own death race. And I kind of joked about it because I was probably doped up. And I did want my friends to know what was going on, and it was easier to post about it on a wall than it was to text everyone in a mass text. So I posted about it, and I had no idea what was going to come after that. I just wanted people to know that I missed, and I was pissed at myself because I missed this event. I wanted to be at this really cool event. I wanted to ride my bike. The bike's over there. It's in pieces. And I didn't get to do it. And I was mad at myself, which is stupid. Why should I be mad at myself for missing an event because I almost died? Like, that makes no sense. But the amount of people after that, people I've never even met, people that just follow me or that are on Facebook, and I generally know 90% of everybody on my page. Like, I physically met them and know them, but there's an amount of people on there that I didn't know, and they were bringing me food. They were helping me, just movies, candy, stuff I couldn't even eat because I didn't have teeth, and it was frustrating. But I saw this entire community from different communities come together for a guy, for me. The things I do them because I love doing them, not because I know that I'm gonna gain something from you. I'm not doing this to make myself better than you. Like, I'm doing what I do because I want to help people, and that's the way I was raised. You give back for what you have. And I'm stubborn. I don't ever ask for help. I won't until it's like the last minute, until that car is laying on me. And everybody knows that about me. And when this event happened, I didn't ask for help either. I just told people what was going on. But the help that was coming, I couldn't say no. I couldn't keep my door closed. I couldn't, it opened me up in a way where I had no clue that my company and what we're doing here goes far beyond what we physically do here. We're involved in people's lives. We help them when things are bad, and this just happened. There was no rhyme or reason. Good things in the world happen and bad things in the world happen, and they happen when everyone least expects it. And this time it was something bad, and it was really bad. And I could either sit there and focus on it and be super negative about it and depressed, or I could turn it into something that is going to push me and see how I come out of this. And it pushed me, it changed me. I physically looked different. I physically was talking different. I could walk, but it felt weird. Everything hurt, It took me a while, and I'm still in the process of getting better, but going to Walgreens to go buy medicine, hearing people snark at me because I have this huge gash and my mouth is like missing half my beard, and hearing even like little kids with their parents like saying just mean shit. was hurtful. Hurtful in a way where I wanted to snap back. Not just at the kid, but at the parent, for like, you're letting your kid talk to someone that they don't even know like that. And I didn't. I just smiled, nodded, bought my stuff and left, and, you know, cried on my way home. But it made me think, do I do that? Have I done that with people? Yeah, I have. Skinny people, big people, little people, people that have in a wheelchair, all these, we all do it for a second. Like we all do. But to comment physically out loud, no, that's just not, there's nothing natural about, there's nothing right about that. I didn't know people would do that to someone they don't even know. And I wrote about it, and I just, in for my own sake, I tell myself, don't do that anymore. You know, catch yourself when you're gonna do this. If someone is in a predicament like that and you don't know what fight they're fighting, just smile, nod. You might save their life. I don't know, you know. I don't know where this strength inside me came from. If it was me 10 years ago, I would have probably wanted to drive into a wall if I heard that from people. But there's something bigger happening. I don't know what it is. I didn't break any bones for whatever reasons. Something is telling me this is just something that you went through. It didn't have to happen to you, but it did. You're recovering, you're alive, you're gonna be fine. The people that need to be around you are gonna be around you. The people that don't, you'll know, and you don't need them in your life anymore. And it's true, that's what happened. And by staying on this positive look of it, I feel like it helped me heal faster. It made me feel more confident about going out and putting my hoodie down and showing people what I look like, engaging in the world in a way that I haven't done yet. And it just, it showed me to keep doing what I do. I'm lucky to do this because I work hard to do this. There's nobody giving us money behind our, we don't have this huge bank account. We get by day by day, by jobs. And I'm lucky enough that I get to do this and that I can still walk and use my hands. And now I'm just gonna use it in a way that I haven't done before. You know, I want to teach more people things. I want to learn more skills, more crafts, so more people can do more things. I want to share the story with people that could have or maybe been through there. I have friends that have been hit that didn't get to walk away, you know. Helping with bicycle advocacy, better bike lanes. Why wasn't there a bike lane where I was coming off? Why wasn't there lighting there? Why wasn't there a camera so I can know what happened? Like, why weren't the cops called? Why don't we take cycling seriously in this city? We don't. We're getting there, but too slow. Tucson has a better bike setup than we do, I feel like. And this whole incident helped me and makes me want to promote that more, be more a part of that, and just see what we can do to change that. To know the things you love so much in life can kill you, and it's true. I almost went out on that, and it's the second time. I had a heart attack when I was 25, dancing, random, super random, totally different story, but super random. But I was happy. I was doing what I love to do, and then I woke up in a hospital. But the bike thing was different. I build my own bikes, you know, sometimes they're vintage frames, I just restore them, but to build something from birth is great, and then to be able to ride that thing is even better. It's just a feeling of being on a motorcycle or something. It's just open. You, the world, nothing else matters. And it was taken away from me. I couldn't ride. I was scared, and I was terrified to ride from here down the street to get a coffee. It scared me. And I just, day by day, I just kept telling myself, you can't be scared of the things you love to do. It's gonna stop you from doing a lot of other things. And I had a frame. I've had it for a while. A buddy gave it to me, and I was like, I'm gonna just start slowly working on a bike. Took it apart, started feeling more comfortable with, you know, the scale of it, what's going on with it. I literally gutted it so I could start from how I helped myself, from crawling to running. I did that with the bike. And it took me 2 months to get it built because, one, I was still scared to ride. Two, I didn't want to have to rush myself into getting into something and overlooking something on a bike. Bikes are super simple, but literally you could, smallest little thing you don't do right and your wheel could fly off, you know, your seat would go down, your bar, all these random things would happen. So I just took my time with it, and every day was different. And some days I was just like, I can't. But then I had to tell myself there's a bigger picture here. There's other things you do with biking. The people you've met, you have to get back on a bike. You have to. So I embroidered myself a little patch. It said, RG, get back up bike. And I put it on the door so I could see it every day. And I did. I wound up building a bike, probably the coolest bike I've ever made for myself. And I went for a ride. I didn't tell anybody. I was like, I'm just gonna go on a ride one night, and had to go buy a bike tube. I had to go buy another tube. And so I jumped on the bike and put my glasses on, and I rode. I was going to State Bicycles. They're the only one open. And it was just this weird sensation. I mean, I literally, emotions were weird. They just came out. And it was a really good feeling to know that I was almost back to where I wanted to be. That I could feel the wind. I could hear the noises around me. I could see the people in their yards and wave. Like, I don't know. It was just it was a great connection. You know, and you start pedaling faster, and then you get scared, so you slow back down. You're like, I'm not ready to go that fast. It was just awesome to feel that. And then I got home and just sat there and was baby steps. All right, I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with this, and I did that for a couple of nights until finally I was like, all right, I'm ready to go out of my neighborhood and physically ride on roads. And that was the hardest part. Today actually was the first day that I rode past where I was at. I've been scared. It's just weird. There's still a big blood stain. It's really weird to go by that area on my bike, especially. It's just like, just weird PTSD or whatever. I had this fear that if I went back by there on a bike, something was gonna happen. Again, it was gonna keep happening. Today's my birthday, and it was like, I have to deal with this. I have to get over it today. I'm not doing it tomorrow. I'm not waiting anymore. And so I did. I was riding, and so random, my friend Derek, who owns Hood Ride, cut right in front of me, didn't notice me, which was totally fine, didn't have to. He is an inspiration for me on why I build bikes. So for him to just come in front of me, cross over that path that I always cross, gave me comfort. It showed me, like, it's like a bird, you know, birds fly, you follow it. It literally showed me, like, you're gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. You're going the right way. And to see someone that you know because of what you do, you know, it made me feel better about crossing the bridge. So I did. I crossed it. I almost wanted to scream, like fuck you, I beat you. But I just, like, I rode past, I saw where it was, just kind of smiled and kept going. And it was a really good feeling. It was a feeling of just like, something left. I left something for the better. And I'm not scared of that little area anymore. And I just zoomed down the way I normally do, from 11th Street to 10th Street to Roosevelt Road, right, Roosevelt Road, all the way to Grand Avenue. And on my way up here, Brian randomly sneaks up behind me too. It was just like perfect timing for everything. It made sense, you know, and halfway through, riding together down the street, and it was awesome. And that's what I missed. That's what I was missing for almost 3 months, was being on a bike, running into those people that you don't know when you're gonna do that, and enjoying it, having a good time. Yeah, there's cars out there, but I'm not gonna ride so close to the sidewalk anymore the way that they want us to. Screw that. Cars don't understand that bikes belong on the road too. They need to. The only way they're gonna know that is by riding on the road. There is a law, I believe it's 7 feet from the curb. The car is supposed to advise around you if you're on the road. So I will ride 7 feet from that curb in the physical bike lane. If they get mad, I'm respectful. You know, I will move over if they're not tailing my ass, but some cars do. I'll go slower. I don't care. You will go around me. You know, I'm not afraid of that anymore. No, people need to learn. We belong there just as much as they do, but people also need to be responsible for stuff. And I love riding on the roads versus inside neighborhoods. Because when things happen in neighborhoods, nobody sees it. I was left on a curb for I don't know how long. Nobody was there to see it. If it would have happened on the main road, there would have been people there to see it, to help me, to get me to where I needed to go, or stop whoever it was, you know, like, those are huge differences. So I will continue to do what I do and ride my bike on the road the way I ride, and just be a little bit louder about it. You know, hopefully what happened to me won't have to happen. It's gonna happen, it's inevitable, it always will, but maybe it won't have to happen as much anymore. Maybe we will get some good advertising out of it. Maybe we'll get some better bike lanes, brighter lights. I don't know, but I'm hoping whatever I went through was enough to help change something else in the system.